Hi y'all, welcome back. In this video, we'll begin our journey into the world of ethics, one of the central areas of philosophy. This introduction will help you understand what ethics is, how it differs from related concepts like law and religion, and how philosophers approach questions about morality. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain what ethics is and how it fits into the broader field of philosophy, distinguish ethics from other areas like law, religion, and tradition, and identify and briefly describe the three main branches of ethics: metaethics, value theory, and normative ethics. So what is ethics? At its core, ethics is moral philosophy. It asks one of the most fundamental questions: how should we live? Ethics explores what's right and wrong, what we ought to do, and what kind of person we should become. It's not about what's legal or what's traditional or what a particular religion teaches, although it might overlap with all of those. For example, law tells us what we can do legally, but ethics asks what we should do morally. Ethics helps us evaluate moral obligations, human values, and even the purpose of life itself. Ethics is a broad field, but we usually break it down into three main branches. First, metaethics. This branch asks big questions like, what is morality? Are moral truths universal, or do they depend on culture or emotion? Next, we have value theory. This area asks what makes life good or meaningful. It's concerned with well-being, fulfillment, and intrinsic value. Last, we have normative ethics. This is probably what most people think of when they hear the word ethics. It asks, what should I do? It helps us evaluate actions and principles for how to live well. We'll briefly explore each of these branches next. Metaethics takes a step back from specific moral rules and instead asks foundational questions. Are moral values real objective things, like facts, or are they just cultural preferences or emotional responses? Is there such a thing as moral truth, or is everything relative? Metaethics is also concerned with whether moral reasoning itself is meaningful, or if ethics is just an elaborate way of expressing our feelings. Next is value theory, which focuses on the big picture question, what makes life worth living? It explores ideas like what has intrinsic value, value in and of itself, what brings happiness, fulfillment, or meaning, and how we might define a good life. Some common theories in this area include hedonism, which seeks pleasure as the highest good, and desire satisfaction theory, which focuses on the satisfaction of individual desires. The third branch is normative ethics, which asks, what should I do? It's about how we make moral decisions in everyday life and the principles we use to guide those decisions. This includes moral rules like don't lie or don't harm others, virtues like honesty or courage, and outcomes such as the consequences of our actions. You'll encounter major ethical theories here like deontology, which focuses on duties and rules, utilitarianism, which focuses on maximizing happiness, and virtue ethics, which is focused on becoming a good person. Before we wrap up, it's important to clarify what ethics isn't. Ethics is not the same as law, religion, or tradition. In regards to law, just because something is legal doesn't make it moral. Regarding religion, religious teachings can guide ethics, but philosophical ethics relies on reason and critical thinking. Tradition, not everything that's been done in the past is morally right. Ethics asks us to evaluate traditions, not just follow them. All right, y'all, that wraps up our introduction to ethics. In future videos, we'll explore these branches more deeply and begin applying ethical reasoning to real-world issues. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.